So welcome back, guys, to the MR50 build. I'm going to be lacing the rear wheel today. It's not a how-to, it's a how I do it. To show you a little sneak peek of the bike so far. You can tell the frame's been powder coated. It's had a lot of pieces polished, a lot of new pieces. Dad's put a lot of work into this. The engine's been gone through, it's ready to go back together. It's been polished as well. But let's get started on the rear wheel, and the first thing I had to do is fix some problems. The spoke nipples are too big. So the way I'm going to handle that is to use a Christmas tree. Stay there. Use a Christmas tree bit, and basically I'm just going to let it kind of fall in there, because you know they're all going a different direction. Just kind of get a feel for what direction it is, and then that's all it is. Now I'll go through and use a deburring tool. And we also had to drill the rear hub. Okay, so first thing is we got two types of spokes. Got to lay a little groundwork here. We got an 85-degree spoke and a 90-degree spoke. The 85-degree spoke is for the inners, and the 95 is for the outers. And I'm showing you here what's an inner and what's an outer. First thing we're going to do is put the 85-degree spoke in. Any hole, doesn't matter. And then we're going to skip a hole and continue around the hub. And once we get them all in, we want to point them all to the left. I usually do it about 45 degrees or so. So basically on the rim you've got a pair of holes that will face each other, and a pair of holes that will face away from each other. What you want to find is the ones that point at each other. That's where we're going to start with the inner spokes. And the way I have the direction going, the first one we're going to do is the one I'm going to point out here. So that's going to be our first hole. That's the first obstacle to overcome, is finding that. We'll get that one started with a nipple.
I love this pantomime stuff. It's so silly. This pantomiming thing.
And then we're going to count 3 holes and put the next spoke in the 4th hole. And move on, skip 3 holes, put the spoke in the 4th hole until you go all the way around.
So I better have gotten this right, or I'll eat it.
And once you get that done, you want to kind of twist it up so it's tight, grab it, lift it, and turn it over. And then we're going to identify where to start our next ones. They're also going to be insides, the 85-degree one. You notice that the spoke hole here is one back from the closest one underneath. Just go one back from that. And that's your initial start. Put a spoke in, and then just like we did on the other side, you're going to put a spoke in every other hole around the hub. And you're going to point these in the opposite direction that the other side is pointing. Get all those in. And our initial hole is going to be the one pointing at the other spoke again. And it makes sort of a little X right there where they cross. Go around, just put a nipple in. You don't put them in too far, just a little ways, just to get them started, so you still have movement. Now I thought I might have had the wrong spokes here. It seemed like they were a little long, but Dad points out that I just not thinking about it right.
Yeah, I know, but see,
You're not, no. You got one binding here or something. See, that one's not all the way through. You know, what I'm saying is ignore what you're seeing now.
Okay, okay.
Proceed.
okay, all right. I just don't remember when we were
As
doing the
long
other
as-
one. Hold on.
X,
Yeah.
2 holes, 2 holes, 2 holes.
Now we're going to move on to the 90-degree spokes. And they go in from the bottom,
Ignore that.
or from underneath at any rate.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they're going to go to the opposite direction of the spokes that are on that side. And then basically, there's only one place they
It's
can
just
go.
whether or not we're pointing, and we have to point the opposite of the other ones on here. Oh. I was about to say, how the hell are we gonna do that?
We'll get all those in. And then we'll start getting them started. And I will say that if any of these are extremely difficult to get in, now you can shake the hub a little bit and get it to move around. But if they're extremely difficult to get in, you may have a problem. You may have something out of alignment, or you might be in the wrong hole somewhere. It's not as complicated as it looks when you do it a couple times. This is the second one I've done in a week, but I hadn't done one in a while, so I kind of had to remind myself. And then basically rinse and repeat on the other side. There's only one place they can go. Again, they're going to be pointing the opposite direction of the spokes on that same side of the hub. They have to cross one another. And then there's basically only one hole they can go. And you see me here, I'm shaking the hub a little bit. You may have to do that. That's it. Should look something like that when you're done.
Just like that.
Now Dad's going to take the nipples down just so they bottom out on the spoke head, and then we're going to turn it,
Now, they're not
see how
tightened
straight
down
it
at
is.
all.
It's not tight at all. It's not been adjusted, but that's pretty good for just snugging down
Pretty
the
good.
spokes. And here's Dad's new project. It's a 1978 Chevrolet El Camino. Body's in really nice condition. Paint's really nice condition. He's putting new brakes on it. It does run. Needs some carburetor work, but it does run. Got some new tires, new brakes. He and his buddy did all the brake lines. It's a neat car. But anyway, guys, appreciate you watching. Until next time, see ya.